think I need to start with there's a rumor going on right now. It's a very important rumor. Tearing up my heart. And it's been all over the internet for those of us who love NSYNC that it sounds like all the guys are in one place, like literally today. Looks like they're all in New York City. And the rumor is that they're going to surprise everyone at the VMAs. I haven't watched the MTV VMAs in like decades. But if it turns out to be true, I'll be watching tonight. Thought you should know.
The VMAs are tonight?
Yeah, which I think that's a weird night, but again, I haven't watched it in forever, so why would I know that Tuesday seems weird to me, but maybe that's what the kids do these days.
I thought they were always on Sundays. So odd. Interesting. I literally was just now very confused. I'm like, wait, it's Sunday? Why are we working?
Yes, so I'm very excited about that because my boys, that are now men in sync, they've done it differently. Lots of people have gotten back together and they have like broke the mold of reunions. Great example, Backstreet Boys is like they never left each other, right? Do you know that right now 98 Degrees is practicing for their reunion?
Oh gosh. Well, you guys, if you heard the last few episodes or whenever I said, like, just let it be. You don't need a reunion.
Your kids would say otherwise, but anyhow. But it's interesting because like you think about boy bands and there's a definite mold for boy bands. It's almost cookie cutter,
Yeah.
right? There's a
Yep.
formula for boy bands. And you have to ask yourself, is that the only way to do it?
No.
Has anyone really done it differently though? Is there a boy band out there that has broke the mold?
And it has been successful. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel like you're the one to know the answer to that. It's definitely not me.
I am. And I would say not yet, folks, not yet. However, that doesn't fit the mold in everything. Okay, because listen, you think about like uh music in general. I think we could say that Taylor Swift has broken the mold.
She's a projector. Did you know that?
I didn't. Adele's a manifester. Did you know that?
I didn't.
And there's a funny thing going on, like only Adele can like take a 9-year sabbatical, come in for like 9 months, do a song, and then leave again for 9 years. It's like that's and whoever posted that about her doesn't know it wasn't about manifest. I'm like, she's a manifester, that's why. But yeah, she's a manifester.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Taylor Swift breaking the mold. Yeah, I'm on for that.
Don't you think she has? I mean, look at how she has like she's in a lot of ways, not just the ways of her owning her own shiz and redoing her own music, but mold breaking. I would like to think we're going into a place, into an era where everything does not have to be cookie cutter to be successful. I think we're going there, don't you think? Like you don't have to be cookie cutter to be successful.
Oh, 100%.
Which leads me to direct selling,
Okay. I'm
which is
following.
the quintessential cookie cutter mold. Put you in a mold, bake, put you in the oven, you come out and you all look like Stepford wives.
Business in a box.
Business in a box. Is there another way?
1000%.
And if there is another way, can you be successful at that other way?
Also, yes. Also, I think it takes a pretty strong mindset to do it a different
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. No offense to anyone else, but it probably takes a manifestor to do the other way. Here's why I say that. Because if you know human design, the reason I say that is because you have so much pressure. You have so much pressure encouraging you to go the way that everybody else has gone.
I think that's a selling point of coming into direct sales. It's we already have the formula. You just follow it. That's it. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
It sounds like leave your brain at the door, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I guess in some ways that's refreshing. I don't have to think. I can just do this and make money. Awesome.
Yes, especially if you're coming from it like it's a side hustle and it's something you want to grow, pretty quickly. It's like, yeah, I don't want to think about it. I just want to get my feet in and go.
This reminds me of myself. as we're thinking, because when I joined, I definitely was in a space transitioning jobs and things where I didn't want to think. And it was like, okay, this is something that I can do while I'm figuring out where I want to go with my career. I can do this. I don't have to think. I literally was like, I don't have to think. And I said, all right, if I will give it, I think I said 3 months, maybe, I don't know. But I'm like, I will give it probably more time than that, but I will do exactly, I'll be coachable, as I say. I'll do
Yeah.
exactly what you say to do and see where it gets me. And it got me. I mean, listen, I earned a trip to Banff within minutes, basically. I earned my investment back. I got $1,000 bonus within the first month. So I hear that, but I also raged against the machine. I could only play along for so long, and then I was like, my brain has to be here. I cannot just, and not I don't want to say, like, when I say my brain, I mean thinking for myself has to become a part of this, like, now.
Mm-hmm. Was it because you were reaching a plateau, or
No,
like what was it? You
it
just
was,
kind of knew like,
I knew there was a better way. It's almost like if you are sitting there and think about this, like, you're like in a group of people and they're like, okay, we're at Disneyland. I don't know, I've been to Disneyland in ages. We're at Disneyland and we're going to get to the actual Magic Kingdom. And you're at the front gate and they're telling you, okay, go this way. And the way they give you is like around like Adventureland and all these ways, but you're like, I can just go directly straight. Yes, I could get there that way, but why would I want to do that when I know in my heart of hearts I can go this way and get to
mm-hmm.
where I want to go? And that's what it was for me. I'm like, why am I doing all these things that are unnecessary when for me, this will work better
For you, while
for
someone
me?
else might think that that's the wrong way. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And I think part of it as well, too, is like, why do we all have to go the same way? In my head, I'm like, why do we all have to go the same way? If I would prefer to see these, let's say I want to go through Tomorrowland. Why can't I go through Tomorrowland? Why do I have to go back to Adventureland to get there?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem is that we don't celebrate that enough in direct selling. Because I'll tell you right now, when I started to go, I'm going to go this way. So the people that were around my level, whatever you want to call it, and they, or below, they're like, oh yeah, this sounds great. People who were like maybe right where I was or above were very bothered by the fact that I wanted to do it a different way. Only a few
Mm-hmm.
innovators were like, you're right, let's go this way. But it bothered them because I was doing something that wasn't the norm, that wasn't the cookie cutter. Now, some people would say to you that's because it's not duplicatable, but that's not the case. They didn't take enough time to see if it was duplicatable. They just didn't like going another route. So then you go this other route and you get there faster, and then that bothers people too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. So what's the answer? Where are we going with this?
I guess let's come out of Disneyland for a while and come back to reality. I think the thing
Oh,
is,
I was having fun at
I know I
Disneyland.
kind of was like, ooh, I need to go. Yeah. I think the thing is this, like, we're going back to Disneyland. Okay.
Okay. Got my ticket.
You know, Disneyland has this whole thing in Disney World. Disney has this thing where if they don't call you an employer, you're a character, right? They ever call everyone characters. And if you were a character in Tomorrowland, like that's like this space, like Futureland, basically, you're not allowed to be seen in Adventure. Is it Adventureland? Did I even call it the right thing? I think it's Adventureland. The one that
I've
used to
never
have
been to
Splash Mountain.
Disneyland.
But you've been to Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World. Okay, then
Yeah.
they're saying, then yeah, there's an
Yeah.
Adventureland.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom basically is the same as
Yeah.
Disneyland. So like
Okay.
you're not allowed to be seen in Adventureland, which is like Huck Finn and all those, because someone from the future would never be in the past. That's why they have tunnels, because they never want to confuse kids. And you are in this section, you should never be in that section. Just a little like, and
Mm.
yeah. And so where am I going with this? You're like, okay. And your point is this: if I am sitting there at the front of Disneyland and my guide is telling me to go to Adventureland to get to Magic Kingdom. But the truth of the matter, and I mean the castles when I say Magic Kingdom, it's the castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of the matter is, I am not meant for Adventureland. I'm actually meant for Tomorrowland. It's not going to work for me. I'm not welcome in that land. You get
Mm-hmm.
me?
Mm-hmm.
So let me bring this back to if you are being taught, oh, here's a good example. If you're being taught that the way from your upline or whomever, that the way to run your business and be successful is to do what she did. And what she did is she did a text messaging system and she did Facebook ads. This is a real world example. Facebook ads that led to text messages. And then she had send out text messages for 60 days. And you are someone who really do not like to do Facebook or you really don't like texting, but you feel like you have to do that because she says to do it, you are not going to be successful. Even if you do exactly what she does, you're not going to be successful because it doesn't feel right to you. So your energy is not going to be there. It's going to fall flat. You're not going to be successful because there's probably a reason it doesn't feel right for you. Your gut, your intuition is telling you, maybe you know that your audience, they don't do texting. Maybe that's what it is, but there's something that you're ignoring. So you could spend time, you could spend money, you can spend all the things trying to be in Adventureland. But if you're really meant to be in Tomorrowland, it ain't going to work. It's never going to work. And the thing about it is, indirect selling, we so want to be like Mike. If I could be like Mike, I want to be like Mike. Do you remember that song?
No, no,
Okay. All
don't know
right.
that
You
one.
don't. It was a commercial. And the kid wanted to be like Michael Jordan. And there's a whole song, if I could be like Mike, like Mike. Okay. The
My
thing
husband might
is,
know that one.
yeah,
That's
you are a youngster. That's true. The thing is, if we spend all this time trying to be like someone else, we are actually negating ourselves. And it might sound cliche. I don't care, but you are the best you, y'all. You can only be the best you. I cannot be a great Taryn. I cannot frolic in the woods like Taryn was on her Instagram stories. Did y'all see that? It was like a nymph and a fairy all rolled into one. I can't do that. I mean, I have good hair for it, but beyond
Good.
that, I do, right? Like she had a flower crown, y'all. She
That
was
I
doing
made.
that. That she made again. See, I rest my case. I could not be a great Taryn. I would be I would be a poor imitation of Taryn. You'd be like, "What is that? Bring me the actual Taryn. I want
Where's
the real
Taryn?
deal. Don't give me this
Yes.
Taryn duplicate." We have to realize that even in a company and even in a business and even in an industry where yes, there's certain things and skills that you can do over and over again in repetition, we have to be able to put on our own flair and celebrate that. And here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
When someone tries to go do their own thing, what happens is people go, "Oh, yeah, it's not going to be successful for you," or "You didn't hit this you haven't hit this milestone yet because you did it your own way." Maybe it
Yeah.
just takes a different amount of time. And who's to say that if you did it the way
Mm-hmm.
everyone else did, that you would get there? Because I got news for you, baby girl, you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think about when I joined a more recent company, the advice was, okay, now reach out to all your family and friends. And I'm like, oh gosh, I really thought this advice was dead. But that advice might work for someone
Mm-hmm.
else. It is not going to work for me. And I knew it wasn't going to work for me. So I didn't even bother with it.
Do you know how many people I know that come in there? I don't want to do that. I don't want to reach out to everyone, but then they feel like they have to
And
because
they
they
do
feel
it
like that's someone,
anyways, and then look like spammy Tammy.
and it comes and they feel weird about it, but then they're like, oh, but or they're not willing to accept that if you're not going to do it that way, it might take you longer, and that is okay.
Mm. That one's a hard pill to swallow because it's like, when you are coming into direct sales, you don't want it to take long. Like you do want to see some wins in the beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, how do you get your footing right away to find what works for you?
So I coach a lot of network marketers, as you know this, Taryn, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be a constant struggle for them. Like they'll come to me and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all the reach outs. I'm like, great. Now you have to remember that. You have to write that down. I tell them, like, if that's how you really feel, that is great. We will set up a system for you that works for you, but you have to understand that you are going to feel the pressure. The natural current is going to be pulling you the other way. You're going to hear people in like your little power hours or your sessions where everybody meets together and you listen to these. They're going to tell you these stories of how they were successful, and it's going to be different from what you said. And when they look to you and you may not be as far along as they want you to be or you want to be, they're going to say, well, did you do your reach outs? Did you reach out to, and you're going to feel like you're not where you want to be because you didn't do it the way that you already said you didn't want to do it that way. And it's a constant. I have to reframe. And I'm like, I'm just telling you this now. And I'm going to let you know, I'm going to remind you of this because you're going to come back and go, and wonder, or you're going to start doing those things. And you've got to remember that that's not, you didn't want that in the first place. Constant battle and struggle.
Constant. I mean, I felt it and I'm like, ooh, this is, maybe I should. And then you question yourself, but you need to trust yourself in this business. This is still your business, even though it does come with a cookie cutter option. You can still trust yourself and make your own cookies.
Yes, you can. But here's what I love about coaching is I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't actually make commission off of your sales.
Yeah.
So if you come to me and you say, my goal is I want to recruit, or I want to, whatever your goal is, I'm here to help you get to that goal without having that, oh my gosh, yeah, she says she wants to recruit, but if she sells 85 more things this week, I get a great commission, I get a bonus, or I get a trip. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, that's what I love about coaching is like, I want to see you succeed on how you define success. And I am not personally benefiting from your activities, except for just feeling good and excited for you.
I think that's a really good call out. And that's where more confusion can come in because your upline, they're also in business for themselves, right? So they're going to have a bias of what they're coaching you on because then they benefit.
100%.
And that's not necessarily bad. I'm not calling anyone out.
It just is the way that the system is built, right? And you're so right about that. And I hear that but there always comes a time in that relationship where even with the most supportive upline, there are seeds of doubt and distrust from their downline because the downline knows you make money off of me. I have seen some of the most, what I would call the healthiest relationships between an upline and a downline. And still that question comes to me where someone's like, I don't know, they said this, or, but did they just do that because they want to get money out of me? Is it just so they can get their title, their bonus? That question is always going to be in the head of your downline. And I understand it. That's why I am like, hey, I gotcha. I'm with you. Hold please. Battery about to die. Because I didn't plug it in. This. Hopefully this. Recording stopped. Try again. Yeah. I know because I had to unplug my mic. Hold on. Let me just export this one. Okay. Let me do another recording.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Make sure that this is back to where it needs to be. It is. No. Yes, it is. Okay. Whenever you're ready, my dear. It's what I love about coaching. And, I actually should say one of the other things I love about it is being able to come up with that custom solution for somebody and then tweak it however it needs to be tweaked. It's a fun, like, I love it. I love it. I'd be remiss to not say that I do have some openings for coaching right now.
Ooh.
I do.
Post-wedding, Roxanne's ready to open back up.
Girl, I am here and are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. I am ready. And I'm super excited because, of course, just leading into the end of the year and helping people get to their goals. There's still a lot of time in the year, y'all. I think, oh my God, there's a lot of time for a lot of magic to happen, which you know what I'll do, so we can put this on the show notes of the podcast episode you're listening, but I'm going to offer you, I do like consultations. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but I do like 15-minute consultations just to see, because listen, I may not be the coach for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. You may not be the client for me. Again, see,
boom.
This is
a two-way street. This is a two-way interview.
That's right. And it's the benefit of, like, okay, when someone joins your team, you have them. They're like, okay, they're yours. What are you going to do? Like, it's not like that. Like, I might be the person for you. You might not be the person for me. So we can like figure out if we're compatible. And if so, make some magic happen. So we'll put the link on there. Yeah, it's a free consult. Let's figure each other out and see if we're a good fit. And if you're not a good fit for me, I can send you to somewhere else too. I'm happy to do that.
No pressure. I love coaching. I personally am a fan in all aspects of my life. I always have some sort of coach because there's always someone who's a few steps ahead of you that can help you along the way. And I mean, granted, Roxanne, you've been in the game for a long time, so it's not like you're just like an upline where, oh, I've been in this for 6 months longer than you. It's, you see so many different sides of all the different companies, and you get a much bigger picture view.
Thank you for that. And I do think I don't talk about my credentials a lot, but I will say the fact that I do see the corporate side and I meet with corporate as well for many companies, and I coach on the field side, as corporate would call it, as well too, gives me a unique perspective that I don't know that anyone else really has out there. So soak it up, take it from me. I'm here for you. I agree with you though. I love coach. I mean, I have a personal coach or trainer, as they call them, for like working out, but like, I have my human design person. It's so important to have coaches that'll help you along the way, because like you said, not only are they further along, but also that's their expertise. And we can't expect to know everything about everything. That's one of the issues, like with an upline. Why do we think our upline should know every part of a business? That's ridiculous, as one of my friends says. Get it?
Ooh,
not ridiculous.
It is. And you guys, I think kind of putting a bow on this is because when we first sat down to talk about this topic, I'm like, oh, but people want it to be cookie cutter, right? Like that's one of the perks. But actually, I think the perk is that you get to make it your own, and it's okay. And to find the support to like find what your strategy for growing your business is. And that's empowering.
That's where the fun comes, I think. Right? And
exactly.
That's when you get excited about what you do and the impact that you're making in people's lives and all the things.
Right. And that gets you away from the ick of network marketing, right? Because it's going to be icky if you do it the way that you don't feel good with. But if 100%. You find a way that feels good for you, you're going to show up, you're going to grow, you're going to get sales, you're going to grow your team. Like, it's going to happen. Period.
Go to Tomorrowland. Don't feel like you have to go to Adventureland.
We are not going to Adventureland, so come with us over to Tomorrowland. Yeah. I'm in the tunnel. I'm going.
Yeah. I do want to take a trip in the tunnels. I think it's the coolest thing. Don't you think?
Would be really cool. I didn't know that was a thing, so count me in. I would do it.
Yes. You look that whole, but there's a whole, like, there's a tunnel system underneath Disney World for sure. I think it's the coolest thing. Yeah. What's going on with you? Speaking of cool things, my fairy.
So this weekend, you guys, I was frolicking in this place called Remus, Michigan. I don't really know where it was, but there is a music festival called Wheatland, and it was their 50th anniversary. and we have some family friends that go, and it's like, I'm trying to describe the kind of music. Folk, maybe? Like a
Mhm.
little hippie-ish, but not like the dubstep hippie, like the hippie from like Woodstock, where you're like chilling,
I know
hanging, and
armpit hair hippie. Yeah, that one.
armpit hair hippie. You
Hmm.
know, everyone was wearing tie-dye. I made a floral crown. It was a
You did.
crown. Wore that. We brought the kids. There was so many like crafts for the kids and places for the kids to hang out. So we had a blast with that. That was kind of our like last Michigan hurrah
Did Jeremy go
before.
with you?
No, he did not. He
Okay.
worked.
I couldn't imagine him frolicking in the woods
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't. A lot of us went without our spouses. Like my father-in-law didn't come. My brother-in-law came because he likes that. I'm just there for the people. Like I was there for hanging out with my people, and
You
I
were
thought it was
there to
fun.
frolic in the woods. What I saw on the gram was you, just in case y'all, if you don't follow Taryn, you should. Um, what I saw was Taryn literally going in circles, maybe singing, but like going around in circles, kind of like Ring Around the Rosie. Yes. And you guys both had crowns on, and you're like, and I'm like, okay, she is feeling her oats.
And you guys, I was not on drugs, so I need to call that out. Like it wasn't that kind of festival. We were just having a good time, high on life and frolicking.
I'm telling you, like, if it wasn't kid friendly, they all would have been like still G rated, but they would have all been naked running around. But like
I
not
didn't
in a bad way.
I didn't see any nudity, like, but yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
feel like that could be the next level to it.
Yeah, you know, like those Botticelli babes or whatever that had the hair that was so long so it covered all their private parts, but they were naked running around. That's what I'm like, okay, that's where she is. She's just having a good time. It was an episode of Charmed. If y'all ever watched Charmed back in the day with Prue and Piper and Phoebe, like there was one where they have these nymphs and they're running around frolicking in the, and then these bad wizards come and get them, and they're like, but they throw orbs at them. But anyway, she was one of those
Yeah.
nymphs. Yes, yeah,
Yes.
totally.
We
Was like,
were, and I am now exhausted from a weekend of hanging out with people, having fun. And I'm on the island right now, you guys. This is my last day. This is the last time I will record on the island. I've got a horse taxi coming later, and we are leaving. Bye-bye.
one last thing I'll say about the nymphant, and then we'll come back to this,
What?
is that next time you need to bring a recorder. I feel like you need to be playing a recorder going on the circle.
Well, you
Right?
guys
Totally.
know I play the flute. I was first chair flute,
Oh,
and I was in the
perfect.
marching band, so
Perfect.
I
Then
could.
bring a piccolo. That'd be even better.
Wait, I've got one more thing to say. Listen to this, guys. So where we were camping, when we woke up, like there was a circle of people playing like their fiddle.
Not surprised. See my points.
There was fiddle
In the
lessons
morning.
and ukulele
Oh
sessions.
my
Yeah.
gosh. You needed to bring that flute, and then the kids could have had the recorder, and it would have been perfect. Maybe a
Next year.
tambourine. Yeah. Maddie could have
I
had a
could do a
tambourine.
tambourine, harmonica,
Yes.
just vibing.
Cowbell. Cowbell's a little too
Mm,
aggressive.
too
No,
aggressive.
we don't need more cowbell there. Last day on the I almost said the farm. I don't know what, on the island. Are you excited?
Yeah, I want out. I need to get out of here. And then we're going to Michigan for like 5 days. And then we're officially moving to Nashville. So,
There we go. Everything packed and ready to go?
no,
Okay.
absolutely not.
On the island, yes. At home, no.
On the island, yes. At home, no. But you guys, podcast listeners, guess what I'm doing on Wednesday? Tomorrow.
She's not frolicking in the woods. She's not going to a concert.
I
Oh,
am
I know what
finally
you're doing.
going
I know
to
what
the
you're doing.
spa. I'm going to the spa.
Can we just take a moment out here? Pause. If you've been a loyal RoxTalks podcast listener, you know that a year and a half ago, almost exactly, for
Mhm.
Taryn's birthday, because she's an Aries, she got I gave her a spa day because she's never been to like a real spa. I want to remind you, I said a year and a half ago, almost to the
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was gonna go, then she got sick, and then there to go again. I didn't think she was ever gonna go. Seriously, I saw something the other day. I'm like, yeah, she'll never go. And then I get a note from you saying that you booked it, and I was like, oh,
The stars have now aligned. My husband's giving me crap because I was like, I'm not going to be home till like 9 o'clock. It's open till 8. It's about an hour away. I'm like, I will not be back. He's like,
Yeah,
what? I'm like,
Jeremy.
no, I
Mm-mm.
will not. And I will not have my phone on me. So you cannot message me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jeremy may have
I am
spoken in
going.
class today, but you're not coming back till 9.
Mm-mm.
I love that. I want to hear all the things.
I will. I'll fill you
Mm-hmm.
in.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So good. So good.
How are you? You guys are in Boston for a week.
I think I'll go to Boston. I think I'll start a new life. That's a good song, by the way.
That is a good song. I
Augustana.
do know
It's
that one.
so, yeah, it's a sad song, but it's so good. You don't know me. It was great. We had a wonderful time. Spent time with my in-laws. We got
Mhm.
first of all, let me just say Baylor was a champ. Baylor is a service dog. So she was able to fly with us, and people wanted to take pictures with her. I'm not kidding. She had paparazzi.
You're
The
like,
flight
she's working.
attendants, yeah, the flight attendants were stopping to hang out with her, and then we're like, "What would she like to eat?" I'm like, "She is not a. She did not pay for her seat. She's not eating."
She is on the clock. There will be
Like,
no lunch.
exactly. What in the world? She did great though. So we uh Scott's brother had a Labor Day party, and we were there, and his parents didn't know we were coming, and so when they came in, we were there and we surprised them. And it was just really great. We hung out with them throughout the week. We got to see Taylor and Jax. Went up to Jax's school in New Hampshire, and I can't do a
Mhm.
Bostonian accent. I don't even know how I try. And we were staying on the like in a beach town. So Salisbury is where we stayed. Uh
Salisbury
yeah, because they live
steak.
in like Danvers and Newburyport and all those places, and then up in New Hampshire. But it was fun. We worked from there, and like we'd walk. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I'm gonna go get ice cream. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm on their version of a pier.
Mm.
Like here in California, we have piers. They there wasn't a pier, but it was like everything but a pier. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Like you've been to a pier. I
Like a
know you have.
boardwalk? I have been to a pier. We
But
do
doesn't
have them
a
in
boardwalk
Michigan.
go out into the ocean or no?
No, a boardwalk is usually like along the area, and then your pier
Okay,
goes
so they have
out into the
boardwalks
water.
under the boardwalk. But there's no under. I don't know. So, but they had like that area, but you didn't go out. There was not a pier. Like we have Santa
Okay.
Monica Pier. We have all the piers here. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Navy Pier, like in Chicago, like that's a pier.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No piers here or there, but we went and got ice cream, and that was fun.
Did
And
you see a sunset or sunrise? What do you guys like? The rises.
sunrise, sunset. We like sun. I've been singing so many songs in this podcast. Oh my gosh. Okay. We did not see a sunrise, actually. We did this weird like
Well,
sleeping thing, but we weren't on vacation. So that's probably why.
that's
I
true.
don't consider vacation if you're working.
So then I've never been on vacation.
Well, then we need to put that on your bucket list, my dear.
I didn't actually work while I was frolicking in the forest though, so vacation.
That was a vacation. So yeah, it was a really good time, a really good trip, and then we're back at it now. I'm on a 7-day cleanse, y'all, from Pressed. I'm like, I'm gonna get some juices. It's been a while. And they had a 7-day cleanse. I'm like, okay, they said you need to like make sure you stay at home. If you're gonna go out, do not take it. I'm like, really? And they said it was the same stuff that's in their wellness shop, but it's it's milder, so you can drink it and higher concentrates. I'm like, okay, but I will say, day one, it worked.
Hmm.
So
We haven't had to pause the podcast. We made sure it worked before that.
yeah, I got up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock and took care of that thing. So all right. I think that is everything that you need to know about today. Oh, I do want to say we got a couple notes about the podcast. Almost forgot. First of all, Molly reached out. She listened to the podcast where we were trying to changes. And
The
so she
song.
thought it was, yeah, she thought it was David Bowie's changes. But you said, I think on a podcast that hasn't released yet, which is why she hadn't heard it, that it was a different song, right?
The song I was thinking of was wrong. It was That's Just the Way It Is.
Oh, yeah. That's Some Things Will Never Change by Bruce Hornsby in the Range. That's right. Okay. That
Mhm.
I couldn't remember. I was like, oh, I need to tell her, but I couldn't remember what it was. And then also we got a note from Nancy, one of our power listeners. By the way, y'all, if you send us notes about the podcast, we're going to shut you out. That's how it works. So she said, hey, love, the podcast on MRR, on the MRR bullshit that's going on right now. I just feel like it's so slimy and makes network marketing look bad. You girls are right. People don't like hard, and therefore to hear that they can make like $500 at once is very attractive to them. My question is, she has a question. How many of the $500 deals can you actually sell before, after you hit up on your top 3 or 5 people, you'll be done. And I don't believe that you get residual income off of them. Like a team.
You don't.
You don't, exactly. Like a team. So if you sell one of those and then the person turns around and sells it to someone else, do you make anything off those sales? No, you don't. So basically it's not sustainable. It's a quick fix. That's my Nancy's 2 cents worth.
That was good, Nancy.
Yep.
You're correct.
And she also said, tell Taryn to message me because she's moving to Nashville.
We're chatting.
And I can help her. Oh, already? Okay, good. Yeah. So that was great. Thank you for reaching out and chatting about that. We love you, Nancy, and appreciate it. And Molly, thank you for your voice message about change. No, it's not the David Bowie. She did say Taryn might be too young for that. And she was.
You know, I'll listen to it and I can let you know. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Keep rocking your business. And if you have any questions that you want us answering too, we are here. We will do an episode. So,
bye, y'all.
See you later.